Hey now. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Live with Tanya. I'm glad I get the chance to join you again, and thank you so much for joining me on this journey and letting me join you. For a lot of us, having just come out of the holiday season, you may have been thinking about friends and family, enjoying some loved ones, or if you were anything like I have been in the aftermath of my divorce, you are in the middle of trying to figure out how to really look at the people that's currently in your life. You see, in aftermath of my divorce, I learned that when the storms come and they start raging, everybody that you thought would be with you kind of doesn't exactly show up. That's when I learned some different strategies and actionable steps that I could take to support my heart. When I found myself during the holiday season missing some friends that I thought would be present, some family that I thought would stand. Because here's the thing about a storm. When storms come, it comes to clear out some things. We often see the destruction that it makes, but that is still a clearing that takes place. And if you are like I was in the aftermath of my divorce, some friends of yours got cleared away, and you did not get the opportunity to have them present. You thought that they would be your forever friends. You thought that they would choose you and be supportive for you while you were walking through the rest of the journey in the storm, but didn't quite work out that way. So here's something that I have learned to do that I hope supports you as well. I discovered what I call the levels of relationship. You see, we have to start defining the people that's in our lives. Depending on what we're going through, how we're dealing with life, and the things that's happening in our world, we may need to redefine some things. Just like the storm comes, it causes you to pause and reassess. So if you find yourself in the aftermath of a divorce or a broken relationship, whatever that taken away moment is for you, pause, reassess. It is in the reassessing that you get the opportunity to see who's with you. Because some of the people that we thought would be ride or die, they weren't. When I had some friends of mine that I thought would be present, when I called to say, hey, I'm going through a divorce and I need you. I don't really know what I want, but can you just show up? Not knowing clearly what I needed, left them struggling with what they needed to do for me. You see, some friends, you need to help them help you. So if you can put words to what's happening in your world, put words to it, define it so that you can deal with it and you can help them support you in the journey. There were a few that know you enough that would just be present. I had a really good girlfriend that in the aftermath of my divorce, because she recognized I'm not always at that point. I wasn't really good with my words. I couldn't really define it. I didn't even know what I needed, but I just wanted her present. She was what I call level one relationships. See, in level one relationships, you get the opportunity to have people that are there for you. They're the ones that come when the storm has raged and they know it's cleanup time. They don't know exactly what needs to be cleaned up. They don't know how stuff needs to be cleaned up, but they just know they need to be present to help you clean up. That is a level one relationship. So, with a level one relationship, you know that they will be there in the storm, but we don't have a whole lot of them. You may have one or two really good friends that will be your level one relationships. It's like having a party. Everybody wants to go to the party. Everyone is level three. Everybody and anybody wants to participate in the party. Level two are those that will help you put the party together and may help you clean up a little bit, but you got to tell them, put this here, put that there, do that and the other. But level one, oh, that level one friend, that's the one that will show up before everybody arrives, help you finish preparing because you may not be done cooking, cleaning, or whatever else needs to be done. They show up and they just stand in the gap and do what is necessary. You don't have to tell them everything that needs to be done. You don't have to walk through all the discussion points. They are level one friends. They know how to support you. Now, the level two friends, these are those that show up at the party. While you busy cleaning up, trying to straighten things up, they standing on the side, still talking about the party, what's coming to the party, who was been invited, but they ain't picked up nothing their broom, ain't got nothing their mop, nothing, ain't helped with a dish, anything. You gotta have to, you really have to tell them, can you stop standing around and help me with this or take this over there? Put this here. Can you take that down? All the directions. You see what happens? For those of us that are coming through the emotional warfare, coming out of the emotional storms, like I did in the aftermath of my divorce, that 11-year relationship ended. It ended at a time that it was a third of my life. All of my adulthood was in that marriage. And I did not have any very serious relationships before my ex. So I didn't even know how to deal with the emotions that I was walking through. So a level two friend, glad that they were present, but I did not know how to help them help me. The thing that I learned is if you define the levels of relationship, then you have more clarity about who to call. You never, ever, 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 ever call level three people. Level three people are coworkers, friends casually that you've met, not the person that you would invite to your house while you go upstairs or roam around. That's level three. They aren't really the ones that come inside to support you in your house. Level two, friends that you don't mind having in, but I call them the fence friends. Those are the people that you have around the fence. Because the thing that I had to learn in the aftermath of my divorce is that I had to set new boundaries. Defining the levels of relationship supported me and putting the boundaries that I needed in place. Because people that used to be level one while I was married, now in the aftermath of my divorce, we've got to shift them. And unfortunately, some of the shifts in those relationships need to be with family as well as friends. You see, there were family members that I had in the aftermath of my divorce that I thought were level one. But when I went through the chaos in that storm, they showed me that I couldn't trust them with my heart. I couldn't trust them with my soul. I couldn't trust them with my moments of unknown. I wasn't certain what I needed, but what I did know I did not need was the level of chaos they were adding to the storm. If you find you have individuals in your world that used to be your go to, but when you get to go through, they're not really there, or they're causing more angst in your heart and your soul than they are providing support and help, you may need to shift them. Because some family members that I thought would be level one, I had to move to level two. That helped me be clear about the boundaries that I put in place. Because you have different discussions with level one people than you do with level two or level three. You see, the types of conversations that you have with level two, let's define that. Because sometimes we're not really sure when you have to shift somebody. You're used to telling them your feelings. You're used to bringing them in to your inner circle. That circle is how I also define the levels of relationship. Who's surrounding you? I can no longer tell you what's happening in my day to day like I used to. Because when I was married to him, we would talk about how to help me get through some things. You tell me your stuff, I take some ideas from it. We move through the journey. But not now. Not now. Now I can't have any more conversations about him because one, I don't want to talk about it. Two, you're not giving me anything that's supportive. At this point, it's like walking through the vines of gossip. You're not helping me at any point. You just want to know what I'm doing and how I'm dealing, and you're not providing support. The comments that you're making, well, if you just figure out how to make it work again, you'll be okay. No, that's not what I need to hear right now. If you're going to be here for me, be here for me. Don't tell me all of this. Get me through this. If you find that you have to shift, this is the level two conversation because they cannot be the personal comfort zone or the communication elements that you once had. Now it's thanks so much for touching base. If you want to have more conversations with them, say, can you meet me? Because I learned to help me. I no longer brought them into my immediate location. I didn't invite them to my house anymore. We were going to talk. We were going to talk outside in public because I learned when you're in public with level two people, they don't throw so much stuff at you because they're in public and they want to be seen as supportive, as loving, as caring. So they won't do things or say things that will scar your soul. So in level two, we will meet out in the public and we will stay surface. How are the kids? The kids are doing all right. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing the best. Do you need any help with anything? What do you feel you can help me with? These are the types of conversations that we can go back and forth. I learned with level two relationships not to reveal everything that was happening in my heart because they couldn't handle it. Because if they could, they would have stayed in level one. And level three, just think of level three as the public. If you're not going to share your information with the public, you don't share it with those people that you put in level three. Those boundaries will support you in how to keep your heart safe because you still have to guard your heart in the aftermath of the chaos that you find yourself in. In the aftermath of my divorce, I had to start redefining friends. Some were asking me questions just so they can take the information back to him. Some were sitting there trying to figure out how I was getting through, but not giving me any solutions about what to do. Define the levels of relationship. And for the people that I typically work with, my clients have this level, and I'll put it inside of the chat so that you all can get the link if you want. So if you want to have the levels of relationship or discussion a little bit deeper, I'll put my link in so that we can have a discussion with it and share some of that insight with you that I typically share with my clients. Because there's also other things that I put in place that help make clear boundaries. But the levels of relationship, well, that one is defined so that you can have a way of knowing how to communicate and how to guard your heart. So I'm hoping that my journey will support you on your journey so that you do not have to step on the landmines I have already crossed. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, just let me know. Reach out. And if this conversation, Time with Tanya, has supported you in any way, resonated somehow or another, like and share it with others so that they can get some of the tools that they need. And if you if you have walked through some ways of developing how to set the boundaries that you need, communicate a little more effectively, redefining your relationships, leave that in the comments below so that as a community, we can be here to support each other. We can be here to give each other the things that we need. Because as a collective, we are amazing. So I want to thank you for being a part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same. See you next time.